Welcome back. Well, Monte Carlo, the stock has been in focus of late. We have winters that are due, and sometimes that has a bit of a ripple impact on the stock price. But to understand how's business shaping up, we're joined by Mr. Sandeep Jain, the executive director at the company. Hi, Mr. Jain. Good morning and good to see you win. Well, in the last few days, the stock price is quite excited. It appears winter is coming, and people believe that there's going to be a lot of demand for your product. So tell us, how has demand been on ground? Are you noticing a better than expected demand? Point number one. And what about the guidance for the year? You were guiding for single-digit revenue growth with margin improvement of around 150, 200 basis points. Is it still on the cards for this fiscal in comparison to last? Sandeep? Oopsie. All right. Let's try.
I think we've got him wrong line, I guess. So we'll just try and, get him back once again. But we should just look at the stock over the last few trading sessions. It's up around 15% at near record high, if not, fresh record high itself from Monte Carlo. What's very interesting, however, Nigel, is that, while every once in a while we do feel cold here in Mumbai, the western part of the country. Yesterday we had the IMD chief join us here on, our channel, and said that we might actually have the hottest winter in this year itself. So if that were to happen, then what happens to their business is something that we'll most definitely keep an eye out on. Manisha was speaking to the, IMD person who did say that November has actually been hotter than what we've seen in the last 5 Novembers. And also, December is likely to be much hotter as well. We'll just try and repatch that connection with Mr. Sandeep Jain.
I'll tell you what.
Okay, he's ready. Let's go.
All right. Hi, Sandeep. I think we have got you back on the line right now, so that's good to hear. We are talking about a stock price being quite excited, and that's why it's moved big time from around 800 to around 960. But tell us, how is business on ground? Point number one. And what about your guidance for the year? You were guiding for single-digit revenue growth with margin improvement of 200 basis points. Is that still on?
Yeah, good morning, Nigel. So, yeah, you're right that we have guided for a flat revenue for this financial year, but seems like this year has begun well in as far as winter is concerned. It is basically October, November have been good for us. So I think that we still have 1 month left, but as far as this quarter is concerned, we see a positive growth coming out of this quarter as compared to last financial year. And definitely, as you rightly said, there would be improvement in margins as well.
All right, because at the halfway mark, the margin improvement hadn't yet come about. So the second half of the year, the margins will have to be much better. So in comparison to FY24, you're saying margins will improve by around 200 basis points. Is that doable?
Yeah, I can't say it's 200 basis points, but there would be definitely improvement in the margins because we don't give a quarterly guidance, we give annual guidance. So on annual basis, you will see that once we end this year, we will have a definitely improvement in the margins.
Right. On revenue itself, the first half, there has been a mild decline. October, November, you said have been good for you. Could you give us a sense of what October, November growth has been this year over last year's October and November?
There was single-digit growth in revenues in October and November, and December is also very important for us. So overall, we think that a third quarter basically contributes around 55% of the revenues. So we're very hopeful that we'll have a good growth coming up, at least single-digit growth coming up in this quarter, and that will compensate the decline which happened in first half of this year.
So October and November in single digits. Can you tell us mid-single digits, high single digits, low single digits?
Because we don't have a data from across India because we only have EBO's data. So it's very difficult to say. But
so how much has EBO's grown?
EBO's growth around low single digit.
Okay, all right. Sandeep, one factor that you have worked on is getting rid of the seasonal aspect. I recall earlier woolens was bulk of your sales, and then gradually I've been getting cottons in as well. And I've seen a couple of T-shirts, in fact, that have been made from your stable itself. So you have de-risked the business to some extent. Could you give us a few more details then? Quick commerce channel, how much of your sales come in via this channel? I believe you have tied up with various, companies, Blinkit, Swiggy, Zepto as well. So how is that shaping up?
Yeah, so fortunately, I think they're working well. We have tied up with Blinkit also and also with the Minutes. So the sales have started, but it's probably to comment about the overall sales which will happen in this financial year. But earlier response, like it started from last 2 months only, and we have been selling good number of pieces every day. So it has just picked up. And at the same time, as far as online business is concerned, I think we should be doing around 9 to 10% of the revenues in this financial year from online sales.
9 to 10%, is that?
Yeah.
And how much of that will come from QCom?
QCom is a very small business right now because it has just started. So I can't quantify as of now.
Right. What about, home textiles? That has been one of those strong growth drivers for you going forward as well. That is a business that has been growing in double digits, a lot harder, a lot higher on a smaller base than all the other parts of your business. What does it stand at in terms of contribution right now, and what is that growth rate likely to be?
Yeah, I think because you rightly said that it's growing double digit as compared to single digit for overall company. So definitely contribution from home textile would be more in this financial year as compared to last financial year. And we would see a double digit growth going forward also in the home textile segment, even in this year.
How much does it currently contribute?
So I think this year we should end around 15 to 16% of the revenues in home textiles of overall sales.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot, Sandeep, for joining in. All the best. You seem to be indicating that that the third quarter was better than what you've seen in the past. And for the year, you're optimistic about some kind of revenue growth in this fiscal versus the last. And you're still sticking to that number that there will be some margin improvement in this fiscal as well. Thanks a lot for joining in. The stock is still up close to around 4.5%. But the reason we invited the management was in the last few days, the stock has moved up more than 10%. You pull up a week-to-day chart, it'll tell you a clearer story. For the time being, step into a short break, come back, continue to focus on markets, stock-specific action as well.